finally we're doing some upgrades to the Hustler Super S that I've been waiting to do. And I wanted to tell you guys, I did a little short video and posted it, but if you didn't see that, something that's very, very important if you're going to be using the X-Blade setup. So I have the factory setup with the factory bolt, I've got the X-Blade setup with the factory bolt, and I've got the X-Blade setup with the longer bolt. So you can see the amount of threads. It's about five threads or so that's sticking up, which will engage the spindle. If you just use your factory bolt, because of the additional thickness of the bracket and the blade, you're only going to have about 3 threads engage the spindle, and that is not safe. I can't tell you that I've never done that, but I'm going to tell you I wouldn't do that. What you need, I'm going to show you the difference. This is on the left, this is a factory bolt. This is the longer bolt. These are about 1/4 inch longer than the factory bolt, same thread pitch and everything. So when you use the longer bolt with the X-Blade setup, you get the proper thread engagement. So please do not just throw your factory bolt on there. I know it's tempting. You think, well, that's enough to hold it, but it's really not. I mean, it will hold it. More thing, do not think you're going to do yourself a favor and eliminate the giant washer that's on there. You see how this washer is made? It's almost like a cup. It's concave. It does 2 things. It spreads the load out of the bolt, and it also deforms slightly, so it acts almost like a lock washer. Of course, then on the Super S, you've got these giant shields, and then you got our used blade, gently used, and then we got our X-Blade bracket. All the new blades I'm putting on the top. The bottom blades will wear out faster than the top blades. So every time I do my blade maintenance every week, I'll sharpen all the blades and then reverse them so they will wear evenly. And I also rotate the blades over. So this blade goes over there, and then every time I do it, I rotate them. You get a lot more life out of your blades. All right, let me get busy and we'll see what it looks like. All right, we're on. We are double X-Blade with the gold hybrid. Today is November the 9th, 2025. It's Sunday, and I have the parts. We're going to do the upgrades that I have been talking about on the Hustler Super S. You may be able to do these upgrades on your mower as well. Super easy, very effective, and it will increase the longevity of your mower for certain. So the first thing that I want to talk about is this little guy right here. If you're a diesel truck owner or you drive heavy equipment, whether it's an excavator, pan grader, dump truck, these are on a lot of the over-the-road trucks, this is called a filter minder. And what this does is there's a gauge on the side here that shows you where the highest vacuum restriction has gotten to. And what this does, and the reason that you would, if you can use it on your mower, you would want to, is this will tell you definitively when it's time to change your air filter. You see, the air filters, right now we go by hours, right? So this has the Donaldson air filter system. The Trimstar over there has the regular oval air filter system. And I change the filters every 200 hours. Now, do they need to be changed at 200 hours? Or could I go longer? Or maybe I need to change them a little more frequently? I don't know. The only way I would know is to test the air filter. And that's what this little guy is for. So in the end of this is a tiny little vacuum port. This filter minder is calibrated. This one is the actual Hustler part. There's a part number for this for your engine. Kawasaki specs these, that this air intake filter assembly should have so much vacuum until the filter is clogged, then it will produce X amount of vacuum. And the only way you can know that is to have a gauge on here. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to apply a vacuum to the end of this, and I want you to watch this little plunger in here. Alright, you see how the yellow plunger has gone all the way down now, and it's in the red zone? And I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it actually says change filter. So as your restriction in your air filter increases due to the dirt, contaminant, and load, it will end up, and once this gets into the red zone, then you know that it's time to change your filter. You can't possibly know it by looking at it. Now, I do clean my filters. I will take them out every couple of days and tap them out and use a vacuum to clean them, which helps, but do they really need to be changed when I change them? Well, this is the only way to know. To reset this, you just hit this little button right here. Now watch. See the plunger going back? And it goes back up to the top, and it's clear. You can see through it. Now, on some mowers, this comes stock. Since this was a crate, this is called a crate engine, it has the plug here for the filter minder, but it's not in there. You may see a plug here. It may be on the back side. I think all the FX engines have this. I'm not quite sure. Actually, no, I don't think all of them have it. But you can check. If your mower has this plug either here or there, and for Briggs & Stratton, for the other manufacturers, Kohler and all that, they do have other things kind of like this. This is the actual filter minder. Filter, there's some that are different brand names, but this is, I think this was the original. So this is super easy to do. First thing you want to do is you want to remove this plug right here. So I'm just going to take a crescent wrench. This is just a kind of like a nylon plug that they put in here from the factory. You just take that out. There's a brass threaded insert in there, and this would just screw in there. But before you do that, we want to take some Teflon tape. You know what? I probably shouldn't shoot into the light, right? It's poor cameramanship. All right. So I'm going to take, this is the absolute best Teflon tape money can buy. It's called Blue Monster. Stuff is really good. So you don't need but just a couple of wraps on there. If I can get this off here. This is quite thick tape, and you want to make sure not to cover the hole right there. But you just want to get it on the threads. You just want to make sure that there's no air leakage past the threads. And I try to wrap it in the direction that I'm going to be tightening it. And so, just like that. And we'll take this and we'll just put it down like that. Once you start feeling some resistance, there is a hex on the bottom here. Now, if you just go on eBay or Amazon and try to find a filter minder, you can find them. But what you need is you need the one that's actually for your Kawasaki engine. You don't want to just grab one off of that was on your Dodge Cummins and use that, because it's not going to be calibrated for the right vacuum pull. All right, and that's it. So what we'll do is this will stay on here, and as the restriction in the filter grows over time, the plunger will start to come down, and then when it gets in the red, we change the filter. Super easy. So I will certainly, I'm almost positive that with this next thing that we're going to do, and with my cleaning this, that this filter will last way longer, I think. But it's pretty dusty around here, especially when we're doing leaves and stuff in the fall. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to install this right here. This is called a Donaldson top spin. and I'll explain what this does. On top of your FX engine, you have a rain cap right here. The air comes in here. I'm going to take this off and show you. This just prevents water from getting down in there. And to a certain degree, it helps to form a vortex. And as the air goes down, it goes around, and it's supposed to prevent some of the heavy particulates and debris and all that from getting in there. Now, I've never seen one of these on a mower. However, this one is designed for the 2-inch inlet on this mower. And these are on mining equipment. A lot of over-the-road diesel trucks use them. Logging trucks that are in really dusty environments, excavators, bulldozers, things like that, where they want the filters to last longer. And one of the worst environments I can think of is for dust is mowing. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to take, what is this? This is a 7mm, and there's a clamp that holds this on. Just loosen the clamp, and this just pops right off. So that's all it is. It's almost like a little snorkel. And obviously, if this were open like this, you would get all kinds of debris and water in there, and we don't want that. So I'm going to take the factory clamp off. There is a little bit heavier duty clamp that I'm just going to put around here like that. And then I'm going to slide this just like that. And it really doesn't matter which way this is turned. Now, before I tighten this, I want to show you something in here. Because what makes this different than that? There is a rotor in here that spins. See if I can get the camera where I can show you. See, it's like fan blades. I don't know if the camera's picking up, but there's some fins here, but there's also, see, I'm moving them back and forth. It looks like turbine blades. And as this engine is running, those things start spinning really, really fast. Kind of almost like a turbo. And the air comes in through here, just like on this. This also functions as a rain cap. Comes in here, and this port right here, it will eject the grass and the heavy dirt particles. They say 85% of the particulates coming here will get ejected, which means that your air filter is going to have to deal with a lot less of the heavy particulates, the dust and stuff like that. Some of it's obviously still going to get in there, but we're trying to prevent that as much as possible. And I'm just going to slide this up like this. Oh, well, that's not an 8mm. I'm just going to get a screwdriver. All right, so I got a 1/4-inch driver, and I'm just going to tighten that up like that, and then you can't move this at all. And that's it. That is all you have to do. These two things combined, this will keep the air filter clean, and this will tell you when to change the air filter. All right, guys, well, I'm going to do a little bit of maintenance and then relax and get ready. Tomorrow it's supposed to be below freezing, so what I'll probably do is we'll do a cold start video on the TrimStar. Remember, I switched that over to the 10W40, and it has been helping a lot. So tomorrow will be a good stress test. And then Tuesday morning, I think it's going to be in the low 20s. So yeah, those 2 days will be a good test. But anyway, I will keep you guys up to date, and I'll do a video whenever this finally reaches down to where we got to change it, the vacuum restriction gets, and we'll see how many hours it was. We'll see how close to 200 hours it would be, because that's when I would normally change the filter. So anyway, guys, thank you very much, and I will see you on the next video.